Now to a prescription for happiness, a one-man theatrical show which focuses on how to get healthy and stay healthy, both physically and mentally. Well, I'm joined now from our Waterford studio by its writer and performer, GP Dr. Mark Rowe. Mark, thank you for joining us this morning. First of all, we're going to hear from the Dubliners and their spin on Pharrell Williams' current chart topper, Happy.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Okay, slight hiccup on that type. But anyway, Dr. Rowe, tell us about this production that you're going to be involved in tonight. It's all part of your thinking on to address the pill for every ill thinking and instead focus on staying healthy.
Thank you very much, Keelan. I mean, really, I want to offer a new possible solution for healthcare. Less emphasis on illness and more on wellness. Less on treatment and more on prevention. Less on healthcare and really illness care, and much more on health, happiness and well-being. And thanks to Martin Seligman, a really innovative, genius professor, he came up with the term called positive psychology about 15 years ago. And what this means, Keelan, is that instead of looking at what's wrong with people and how you can alleviate suffering, let's look at what's right with us and how we can feel and achieve more happiness and well-being in our lives. And of course, authentic happiness means that we have a sense of meaning, what it is to experience being truly alive in the moment, having a sense of acceptance or achievement or intimacy or relationships or spirituality. And so I've been talking on well-being for a number of years, and I approached Caroline Senior, who's the artistic director in Garter Lane, about doing a possible show, and she thought it was a great idea. And then I got to work with Jim Nolan, who's an ace Don and a wonderful playwright, and that was an amazingly, incredibly brilliant experience for me, for somebody that's trained in healthcare, to work with someone from a purely artistic and theatrical background. And I got to work with Jim because he was the artist in residence in Garter Lane all of last summer. We had numerous 3- and 4-hour sessions together.
So you were working on developing this show, but just tell us a little bit about the show, Mark. I mean, within it you have some top tips for happiness, actually. You also address the 7 poison dwarves. Talk me through those.
Well, really, you know, we have 2 types of emotion, Keelan. We have negative emotion and we have positive emotion. Negative emotion is so bad for us because it has such a strong hangover effect. You know, it's like psychological pain. It's hard to let go of. So I coined them as the 7 poison dwarfs. Fear, envy, anger, anxiety, guilt, shame and sad. And they've got all their cousins like resentment, embarrassment, disgust and confusion. But we also have the happy dwarfs like love and joy and hope, interest, inspiration, enthusiasm and playfulness.
But I suppose, Mark, you'd say, well, listen, life is tough for people. I mean, you will feel sad. You are going to feel resentful. You know,
absolutely.
How do you train yourself out of that? What do you say to people to do? 2
things. Become more aware of the poison dwarfs in your life. Okay? Understand the thinking that led to them, because everything starts with your thinking. We can't get rid of the poison dwarfs completely, but put them back in their box. Bring on the happy dwarfs and make sure you've got the right balance. We need at least 3 happy dwarfs in our lives for every poison dwarf. And
so
then look at all
the way you think.
Retrain the way you think. Look at the silver lining of every mushroom dark cloud. And look at all the things you can do to cultivate happiness and well-being. One of the most important is to cultivate a sense of gratitude. If you feel grateful, it's not possible to feel envious or negative or hostile at the same time. Simply writing down 3 things each day you feel grateful for is a wonderful way to cultivate your own happiness and well-being. And what I would say to any parent out there, if you've got young children, when you tuck them in at night, ask them to remember 3 good things that happen to them each day, because it's a wonderful way to get your subconscious mind focusing on what's going well.
So 3 things you're grateful for. Another thing I know you focus on in the show is exercise. You say that is the greatest kind of help of all to mental and physical health.
Keelan, exercise is the greatest pill of all, no matter whether you're aged 8 or 88. It's never too late to start. It releases happy hormones like serotonin, which is a brain's natural antidepressant. It releases natural painkillers that make you feel more calm, energized and optimistic. And more recently, Keelan, and this is really exciting, we now know that exercise releases brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This is a magical Miracle-Grow ingredient for the brain that can prevent aging of the brain and can allow us to grow new brain cells. How exciting is that?
Yeah, no, it's true. Listen, this premiered in Chicago some months ago. It was a sellout there. It sold out the last time you performed it in Ireland. I know it's sold out on Friday. Are you going to keep going with it? I mean, it's you on stage imparting your views on healthcare. Is that how it works, or what happens?
It is, Keelan. It's me. I'm there, and you know, for me, I love it because there's nowhere to hide. The audience has the power. So often in healthcare, the power is with the medical profession. In this space, the theatrical space, the audience has the power. I'm on a really amazing journey. I'm so grateful for having had the opportunity to do this. I don't know where it's going to take me, but there seems to be a lot of interest in the message. And for me, that's what's most important. If I can get up in front of 150 people and support one or two in improving their health or making a change for the better in their life, for me, that is so worth it.
But Mark, can I ask you, is it a lecture in effect, or do you perform? I mean, is there a performance element?
That's what I was saying, Keelan. I use no notes. I use no PowerPoint. It is a performance. So, I mean, I'm not an actor as such, so it's me there being myself. But by working with Jim Nolan, you know, the playwright, and also Conor Halpin, who's a sort of a dramatologist, you know, they have taught me the skills to be more effective in that space in terms of communicating my message. So I do use a number of props. I have a model of the brain, and I have my own medical bag in which I have a lot of tools that I take out of the toolkit in Act 2, whether it's... Well, you'd have to come to the show, Keelan, to see it. That's a surprise.
But sure, you couldn't get a ticket for it now, but I presume you'll be doing more performances after Friday nights.
Yeah, there's another one scheduled for the 13th of March in Garter Lane. That's a Thursday, and you know, I'm sure in time it'll get to Dublin. I've also had the chance to work with some transition year students in the mornings, and for me that's been a wonderful experience as well.
Super. Well, listen, good luck with that on Friday, and thank you for joining us this morning, Dr. Mark Rowe there in Waterford.
Thank you.
Well, now it's time for the business news, and Conor Brophy is here. Conor.
Thanks, Keelan. And